Iqbal Uzuner and Ayşe Nurhalil. Both were brutally decapitated in the middle of Istanbul by a psychopath half an hour apart. There are two theories and discourses that do not overlap in the incident that hurts us. Ayşe Nurhalil, Iqbal Uzuner, and Semih Çelik were friends from high school. Semih Çelik was quite obsessed with Iqbal Uzuner. This obsession, which lasted almost 5 years, had reached such a point that allegedly Iqbal Uzuner's father is open by having his daughter's registration removed from the school where Semih Çelik is located. He had signed up for teaching. Iqbal Uzuner and his family went to the police station about Semih Çelik. He had filed a complaint. The trial with Semih Çelik and Iqbal Uzuner's father continues. When Semih Çelik became a lover with Ayşe Nurhalil, he allegedly called Iqbal Uzuner's family and said, "I will leave your daughter alone. I have a boyfriend. I have no business with Iqbal." For the last 1 year, Semih Çelik's obsession with this had increased considerably, and Iqbal Uzuner was not leaving him alone. One day before the incident, Iqbal Uzuner had gone out with his family, and Semih Çelik had followed them. According to his father, the person had psychological problems and was being treated in the hospital. He had a total of 5 hospital records in 1 year. It was even found out that he had tried to harm himself before. His family has also filed a missing persons report about Semih Çelik twice. If it is a creepy detail, he worked in a butcher shop. Now, another claim is that, as a result of my research, it is said that he went to the butcher shop to get an education. The reason is that he is mentioned to be a member of a group called Incel. Semih Çelik's family moved his sister to the city. He took her to a university outside. For this reason, Semih Çelik was alone at home, and Ayşe Nur called Halil and told him to come to the house where he lived with his family. It was about 3:30 when Ayşe Nurhalil came home. Then Semih Çelik took a cutting object in his hand and slaughtered 19-year-old Ayşe Nur there in a murderous way. Iqbal Uzuner, on the other hand, is not a person who goes out alone, but only goes out for 30 minutes on the day of the incident. Then, Semih Çelik forced him to climb to the top of the walls by showing him a cutting object in front of the historical walls on Fevzi Pasha Street in Fatih. It was claimed that Iqbal Uzuner was seen being forcibly removed from the walls and screamed, and despite this, no one did anything. Semih Çelik took Iqbal Uzuner up on the ramparts and slaughtered him in a savage way with a monstrous feeling. Another important detail that has just been identified is that Iqbal and Semih appear separately on the security cameras. As mentioned, a situation such as forcing him into the walls with a cutting object in front of the walls is not reflected on the cameras. Even the first one comes separately from Semih to the walls. Iqbal Uzuner's mother, on the other hand, answered the phone when she called her daughter, Semih Çelik. "Come, your daughter is on the walls, in peace," he said and hung up the phone. When Iqbal Uzuner's mother comes to the walls, murderous Semih Çelik throws the bat part in front of his mother and continues to sit on the walls. Faced with a terrible sight, the mother said the following, "I'm begging you, let go." Semih Çelik had planned this atrocity before. Even a year ago, he made a farewell video to Iqbal Uzuner in his own words. And there he mentioned that he was following Iqbal Uzuner and wanted to slaughter him. "Iqbal, I wanted to say goodbye to you in private. I'm sorry that they went through this because of me. But you have a beautiful relationship. You won't have to be afraid or worried. This topic is completely closed. I hope we will live a normal life." He makes videos that continue to say we will die well. The teams that went to Semih Çelik's house found a picture of a strange-bodied woman drawn in black pencil on a notebook during the examinations. This drawing was recorded in the police records as follows. It is understood that the manner of Iqbal's death is similar to the picture drawn by the suspect, and the work on the subject is continuing together with the district teams. According to the claim, Semih Çelik made cuts in a regular way with his butchery experience. Police and medical teams were dispatched to the scene upon notification. Semih Çelik passed a rope over the walls and then let himself down. Çelik, who was the first responder at the scene by the medical teams, he was taken to the hospital by ambulance. Semih Çelik died in the hospital. After Ayşe Nur and Ikbal were taken to the Forensic Medicine Institution, their bodies were delivered to the family and both were buried. On social media, a citizen who said he was a neighbor of Ayşe's family made some claims and said the following. Ayşe went to school yesterday and made an appointment with her mother to meet Ayıp Sultan after school. But when her mother called, she couldn't reach her phone at first. Then Semih picked up the phone and said that your daughter was at school. The woman went to school on a run. When he found out she wasn't there, he called again. He picked up his daughter's phone and said your daughter was at the police station. This time, the woman he went to the police station. But when he couldn't find his daughter there either, he had the phone stolen. He thought about it. He called his neighbor, and Ayşe, I think, had his phone stolen. He comes home probably. I'm on my way. He said if he comes before me, let me know and take him home. But he next. Ayşe has already lost her life. Those who heard the news came to Ayşe's mother's house and told the neighbor. The woman couldn't believe it. That won't happen. I'm waiting for Ayşe. He said his mother just called. We heard just screams from the house, we could hear it. We heard a terrible sound of crying and shouting. Later, Ayşe's we got the news. Not in Ayşe's family house. Semih's family took his brother to their own house because he was going out of town to place at university. And I'm tired of saying this word brutally anymore. Then he called the police and reported that there was someone here and left there. Ayşe came to his relatives in that photo. After calling the police, he left the house and went to Ikbal. I am very sorry about the subsequent events, which are known. He states in the media that the incident happened due to his addiction to the app. During the examination conducted on Semih's phone, it was found that she was in communication with misogynistic people called incel, in a group of which she was a member via a messaging application. It is said that the incel group causes these events and takes young people under the influence of bad feelings. It is said that they correspond in groups, talk about rituals, take orders with praise, and participate in rituals in the villa located in Florida. Terrible WhatsApp messages have been detected. The messages revealed conversations about being sacrificed. If we need to talk about incel, over the past 30 years, incel culture has evolved into a community that today identifies with hatred of women. Incel is an ideology that harbors hostile beliefs against women and has been associated with some brutal attacks. Incels have communities on Reddit, Facebook, and sites they have created on their own. Measures by tech companies, such as shutting down these communities, are not exactly yielding results. According to this, thin people need mental health support rather than being demonized. Semih Çelik's incel culture has come back on the agenda in Turkey after this brutal incident on October 4th. There have been many shares on the subject on social media and in the press. However, the explanation of this event by linking to a single cause will be nothing more than to cover up the lapses experienced. One of the biggest omissions is that the person was obsessed with the girl and openly admitted that he wanted her, despite the fact that there was a video stated to be from a year ago. The person was not treated or imprisoned. Psychological problems. Why was someone who had happened and openly said on video that he wanted to take a life still out there? According to a relative on social media, the Uzuner family made the necessary complaints and even took their daughter away from the school where the person was. Alone out of fear, he couldn't even go out on the street to his head. I want to ask you this. Necessary complaints, although it was done, why couldn't Ikbal and Ayşe be protected? Research on the issue is ongoing. I will not be closing the video today. Goodbye.